Welcome to Networking Working, the podcast where real business stories meet meaningful connections. Brought to you by Business Matching UK, the UK's first business matching membership service with a business opportunity guarantee. Whether you're building something new, scaling something established, or just exploring smarter ways to move your business forward, you are in the right place.
Welcome back to Networking Working, the BM UK podcast. In this episode, we're joined by Andy Nichols, Fund Manager at GC Business Finance, an organisation that's helped more than 30,000 businesses access over 150 million in funding. Welcome to Networking Working, Andy.
Thank you for having me.
What does your business do and who do you help?
We're a not-for-profit alternative finance business, and we provide loans to growing businesses across the Northwest, particularly those that are struggling to get that type of finance from their own banks. I worked for HSBC for 29 years, and the way I lend money now is exactly as I used to do it when I worked for HSBC. I left there in 2006, and the difference is that the banks have changed, particularly for the level of funding that we deliver. It's typical that you won't have a named bank manager looking after you. You'll be using business telephone banking. You'll tend not to speak to the same person twice. They'll use a credit scored algorithm to make the decision. And that works for a lot of businesses. But if there's been a change in your business, it doesn't usually pick that up. So if you've got some new opportunity, like a new contract, maybe a new opportunity, the credit scored algorithm just doesn't take that on board. We will do. And we will look at the historic information as well as things like cash flow forecasts and so on. That's the biggest difference in what we do compared to the banks. The process takes longer than a credit scored process, but that enables us to really understand your business and understand what your funding need is and see whether we can help you. Just give one example of a business that shows that support that we can do. It was a video game business. They were doing a presentation at one of these trade shows in, I think, Frankfurt. Microsoft got interested in what they were doing and actually offered them a $500,000 contract to give their video game away free with the Microsoft Xbox system. They wouldn't get the money for about 3 months after the game had been given away, but they needed some funding just to pay the wages of their staff for that 3-month period. So they went to their bank. They did have a bank manager at that time and showed him the contract. Unfortunately, the bank still used this credit scored algorithm and it just said no. All they wanted was £35,000 to pay the wages. And they'd got a contract for $500,000. It was the easiest decision that I made. And to be fair to the bank manager, he wanted to support them and actually introduce them to me. But his hands were tied and couldn't help. But that was something that we could do.
That's amazing. I can't believe that they would say no to that.
That is the norm these days. It is, unfortunately, people get some new contract or something like that, or they've gone through some little hiccup in the business and nobody will look at it. It's just based on what the history is with the bank.
This episode of Networking Working is brought to you by Business Matching UK, the UK's first business matching membership service with a business opportunity guarantee. If you're tired of turning up to networking events that lead nowhere, BM UK guarantees to offer something different. Structured, supported, and strategically driven business development, designed to connect the right people in the right way at the right time. With a blend of face-to-face and online meetings, plus 7 unique mechanisms, BM UK guarantees real business opportunities, and that guarantee is the cornerstone of what makes us different. Stop chasing leads and referrals. Start matching with meaningful opportunities. Register your interest today at www.business-matching.co.uk. Business Matching UK. Matching ambition with opportunity.
How did you first get involved with BM UK and what drew you to the community?
One of my colleagues had already joined. She told me that she really enjoyed going to the meetings and thought they were very valuable. She left, but I was happy to take over her position at BM UK.
How do you see BM UK supporting your future growth?
Really hope that BM UK will help me spread the message of this type of funding that is available to businesses and I'll get some introductions for businesses that are looking for funding.
Do you find that a lot of businesses that come to you have never heard of this alternative route of funding?
Yeah, that is often the case. And you shouldn't forget that a lot of businesses, they just have their heads down, beavering away, doing what they do. And their normal sort of route when they then need some funding is to go to their bank. And that will work. I think that should be the first thing that you do try. But if for whatever reason they say no, by all means, speak to ourselves.
How does networking within BM UK differ from other networking experiences you've had?
It is different. It's in some ways less casual. There's much more focus through BM UK to actually try and help the members and help them to achieve their goals.
Who are you looking to hear from, Andy?
It's those businesses that want to borrow money to support their growth. And the businesses that we can support are anyone within the northwest of England. That's Greater Manchester, Cheshire, Merseyside, Lancashire, Cumbria. The funding that we have is loans of between 25,000 and 100,000. If a business is looking for that funding, then please come to us. The fund that we use is something called the Northern Powerhouse Investment Fund. I'm the fund manager for this part of the fund. There are other parts. There's also loans of 100,000 up to 2 million and equity funding of up to 5 million. And I'd be happy to signpost people if they needed those different amounts.
How can people find you and the business?
Very easily. I'm happy for people to call me or email me. We have a very comprehensive website if people want to look on there first. The way that people actually apply for the funding is through our website. However, always like to speak with them first, talk through what they are hoping to do, and try and give them an indication whether it is something that we could support or not before they then go and actually apply for the loan.
And finally, if BM UK were a single tool in your desert island survival kit, what would that tool be and why?
Good question. I did think about this one for a little while. I decided a satellite phone and I could ring someone and get off the island. The reason why, I suppose, that would be the biggest help that I could have, and hopefully that BM UK is the biggest help that we can have trying to spread the word.
Thank you, Andy. It's been great hearing how access to the right finance can unlock opportunities for businesses at every stage of their journey. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. I've enjoyed it.
If today's episode gave you fresh insight, a practical takeaway, or simply something to think about, hit follow, leave us a rating or review, and share the episode with someone else navigating the same landscape. Networking Working is powered by Business Matching UK, a movement changing the way businesses connect, collaborate, and grow. If you're ready to take a more strategic, supported approach to your business development, one that's built on strategy, not chance, then BM UK is what you didn't know you needed. Visit www.business-matching.co.uk to explore more and register your interest.
The information in this podcast is for general guidance and entertainment purposes only. The Networking Working podcast shares ideas and experiences to inspire and inform, and we believe they can be valuable, but they may only reflect part of your own business journey. We always recommend seeking independent advice and using your own judgment to decide what's right for your business. We encourage you to do your own research before making any decisions. The opinions in this episode are our own and those of our guests, and we do our best to ensure the content is accurate and relevant at the time of recording. If you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation, you can reach us at info@business-matching.co.uk. Thank you for listening.